Hello, my name is Grace Clemens, and I'm going to be talking about why we suck at sleep. About 64% of Americans get less than the recommended 8 hours of sleep every night. Some people say 7 hours, but actually 8 hours is the ideal amount or more. So I'm going to be talking about why we struggle with sleep, consequences of poor sleep, and how we can improve our sleep. So first off, why do we struggle with sleep? So everybody sleeps every night, hopefully. So why do we struggle with getting enough and the quality of it so much? When we think of health, we think of nutrition and exercise. That's what gets talked about so much. Eating a balanced diet, making sure you're meal prepping, getting the right supplements you need, and then exercising. Whether that's running, weightlifting, yoga, whatever it is, just making sure you're active and eating the right meals. This is backwards because sleep is actually the foundation of health. Sleep should be the priority, and after sleep should come nutrition and then exercise. Currently, we have a modern sleep crisis. Over the years, we've increased automation of things. You'd think we would have more time and better quality of sleep. This is actually the opposite. Currently, we have the least amount of average sleep per night than we have ever had before. So why is that? What disrupts our sleep? Number one is technology. Over the past century, technology has increased dramatically, especially over the past 20 years. For instance, in 2011, about 30% of American adults had a smartphone. Now that number is up to 90%. It seemed to take over our lives. This is a survey of, do you regularly use a device before sleep? This is a crazy amount because 58.7% of people said that yes, they regularly use a smartphone or some kind of electronics before they go to sleep. The second is societal influences. Many people work long jobs, long hours, which makes it hard for them to get adequate sleep. The second thing is family. When you have young children, especially newborns, it is extremely difficult, dare I say impossible, to get enough sleep. Another thing is stress. Stress can actually make it extremely hard to, one, fall asleep and to stay asleep, and even the quality of your sleep once you're asleep. Another thing is culture. Our culture does not really value just sleeping. In fact, you probably have seen this saying or said it, I've been guilty of this, I'll sleep when I'm dead. This is so harmful because not getting enough sleep decreases your lifespan. And the third thing is our lifestyle habits. A lot of the things we do just does not promote getting enough sleep. I'll go through a few of these. So one, electronics before bed. This decreases your quality of sleep and it makes it harder for you to fall asleep. Two is caffeine. Caffeine is a huge one because it seems like everybody's drinking it. Monsters, Red Bulls, all these massive energy drinks are very common and make it really hard for people to get enough sleep. The second is your work schedule. If you're working night shift, that's extremely hard to get a good sleep schedule with that job. Another is eating too close to bedtime. This can happen just if you're really busy. I mean, everybody's guilty of this sometimes, but just something to keep in mind. Another is alcohol consumption. Some people say that this can help them fall asleep, which may be true, but it actually decreases your quality of sleep. Another is spending too much time in bed awake. I'll talk about a routine further on, but getting in a routine, and if you're in bed and the only thing you do in bed is fall asleep, make sure you're getting enough sleep, then your brain gets used to that, and then when you get in bed, your brain knows it's time to fall asleep. But if you're in bed scrolling on your phone or eating, then your brain doesn't recognize your bed as a place to fall asleep. So let's talk about some of the consequences of poor sleep. So there are actually many. First, we'll talk about the cognitive impacts of poor sleep. There's also the physical, mental, so on. But first, cognitive. So when you sleep, if you don't get enough sleep, you're actually decreasing your memory and learning abilities. When we sleep, our short-term memory gets converted to our long-term memory. So in the future, if you want to remember the things now, you have to get enough sleep so your brain is able to convert that into long-term memory storage. Some other things are you'll have less focus and attention, worse decision making, reduced creativity and problem solving, and emotional instability and poor stress management. I know I don't want any of these things, so just by getting enough sleep, we can prevent these things from happening. Let's talk about some of the physical health impacts of poor sleep. So first, getting enough sleep helps with immune support, muscle repair. So if you're going to the gym but you're not getting enough sleep, you're actually inhibiting yourself from getting the muscles that you could be getting. There's also longevity and disease prevention. Getting enough sleep decreases your chances of getting cancer, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and increases your lifespan just by getting 8 hours of sleep every night. It also helps with metabolism and weight gain and cardiovascular health. These two are very important. I'll show you. Here we all know heart disease is the biggest cause of death in the United States. Just by sleeping enough, we can decrease our chances of dying by heart disease. How crazy is that? As well as cancer. Getting enough sleep, the second cause of death is cancer. Getting enough sleep decreases our chances of both the first and second leading causes of death in the United States. Another impact of sleep is our emotional and mental health. So getting enough sleep actually helps us regulate our mood. It can help get rid of depression or anxiety. Another thing is it regulates our stress levels, our stress hormones. So the stress hormone cortisol, when we don't get enough sleep, it actually increases our stress levels and our testosterone decreases. This is kind of a double-edged sword because then when we're faced with problems, our stress levels are high and our confidence in being able to handle them is low. Just by getting enough sleep, you can help this issue. Okay, so let's talk about how can we improve our sleep. First off, establishing a sleep routine. This is very important, I was talking about before. Just having a routine where you do every night helps prepare your mind to know that you're about to fall asleep. And the important things with the sleep routine is being consistent and like slowing things down in your routine. This is just an example one. I have 8 p.m. put away devices, whether that's like your phone, TV, tablet, whatever it is, put it away so you're not tempted to go on it. And then second, just make some tea and read a book. This just helps you wind down, and then maybe stretch for 10 minutes. Again, just keeping with that cooling down, slowing down for the night. Another thing is turn off overhead lights. This means like the bright overhead hospital lights, turn those off, maybe turn on a lamp, and it creates a very nice, kind of replicates the sunset. Then brush your teeth, wash your face, and turn off all the lights, all the lamps, and get in bed and go to sleep. We're going to talk about optimizing your sleep environment. So some simple things that we can do are, one, reduce the temperature of your room. This may be harder for some people, especially in the summer, but try and sleep as cool as you can. Our bodies actually get the best quality of sleep when the temperature is cooler, about 65 to 70 degrees. Another thing I talked about before, room darkness, don't have those bright overhead lights. And last thing is reducing noise. This can also be having like a sound machine, which is just causing that white noise, where that's also kind of getting your brain ready to know, hey, it's time to go to sleep. This is an example, a great example of a room with nice, cozy, ambient lighting. It's very warm lights. Nothing is directly shining at your face. And then as opposed to this one, it's still dark outside, but see how this room, the very bright overhead lights just make it feel not like it's time to go to bed. So try and Even if it's just one lamp, turn on the lamp, turn off the overhead lights. This will help get your brain ready to go to sleep. Another thing is limiting technology and limiting stimulants. If you do have to get on your phone, most phones have an option where you can turn your brightness to kind of an orange hue. This just replicates like the sunset. But if possible, try and get rid of all devices after a certain time if possible. Another thing is reduce caffeine and alcohol. I'm going to touch on this one again because it's super important. Caffeine can stay in your system for up to 10 hours. So if you have your 3 p.m. coffee and then you go to sleep at 10 p.m., that caffeine is probably still in your system a little bit, and this can reduce your quality of sleep. We recommend a cutoff of at least 8 hours before your planned bedtime. Another thing is alcohol. Alcohol really affects your quality of sleep. So you may sleep for 10 hours, but your quality of sleep was not there. So just getting rid of alcohol can make your sleep efficiency a lot better. Here are some benefits of better sleep. Increased mood, increased immune system, cognitive function, more productivity. I think we all want all of these things. And just by getting enough sleep, prioritizing that 8 hours every night, we can increase all of these things. So that is it. Stop sucking at sleeping. It is one thing we can do. It is free. We don't have to go to the store and buy a supplement or anything. It's free and it can help us so much. Thank you so much.